What's going on, everybody? It's Yost with the Most Philly Gym coming at you with another video. Um, I have been out of town. I apologize for the last couple of days. I know there's been a lot of big things going on with Philly sports. First of all, Bryce Harper is a Philly. I know y'all saw my ranting video about him. Back when all these stupid reports were coming out. You know, um, I kinda still stand by what I say. You know, this guy has to prove that he is about that. He won a National League MVP a while ago. Had a so-so year last year, but kind of sitting back now that I've had a little time to kind of welcome him to the city and kind of welcome him to the city and kind of take a step back and look at the whole picture. You know, I think I kind of was overreacting when I went off about it and saying, he ain't worth this, he ain't worth that, we don't need him. Listen, Bryce Harper he's a really good baseball player, and we're glad to have him. I'm glad to have him. In spite of what I was saying, I was just really pissed off about the whole. That was just me being pissed off for the last couple of months about it. But in all seriousness, I'm glad he's here. I really feel like he had a down year last year because nobody around him. He didn't have any offense around him. He's the only offense. So when you're playing a team where Bryce Harper is the only good player on the team, then it's easy to throw curveballs at him. You don't have to really worry about the other guys. Those are guys that are easy outs. And now he's got a team around him, man. He's got Rice Hoskins out there. We got guys. We got guys who can play now. With the Phillies, we got this whole roster is pretty much different. We signed Bryce Harper's homeboy, JT Realmuto, best catcher in the league. Along we got Bryce Harper, really good player. The Phillies are going to make a lot of noise. I think the Phillies are World Series contenders. I think we could win the National League this year. I think we can compete with the Cubs and the Dodgers and other teams in the NL, even teams in our division like the Braves. I feel like we really have put ourselves in a position to really compete. Because if you look at last season, we were leading this division in August, and we barely missed the playoffs. We just came up a little bit short. But the young talent on this team is there's no question about it. And then when you add JT and you add Cutchin, you add Bryce Harper, then you really put yourself in a good position to compete in the NL. Now shifting gears, talk some football with you. Finally, we got some news, and I can't help but think that Mr. Howie Roseman is cooking up something. He's up to something. He's up to something. I don't know what's going on yet, but there's been a lot of rumors and stuff. We heard Michael Bennett could possibly be on the trade block and stuff. He's supposed to be making $7 million next year. It depends. I really don't want to see him go, man, because he was a good pass rusher for us last year. He got home a lot, man. He really played well last season. But this might, unfortunately, we might have to trade him for the greater good of the team. This could be there could be a big free agent signing coming. We didn't pick up Tim Jernigan's option, so I think we saved 7 million from that. So we're at like 4 million. I think we got 11 million now. Depends what happens, man, because I think there's guys that on the team that we could see go. Chris Long might have to release some guys that we as fans have grown really emotionally attached to. We might have to say goodbye to Chris Long. We may have to say goodbye to Jason Peters. Jason Peters is supposed to make something like 13, 14 million next year. And we all know Jason. We all love Jason Peters, the Hall of Famer, the bodyguard. He was a beast. He was really a beast. Even late in his career, before this past season, before the year we won the Super Bowl, was the year he got hurt. And like before he got hurt, man, he was killing, man. He wasn't letting any elite pass rushers get close to Wentz. And he was just out there doing his thing, balling, man. But unfortunately, Father Time hits everybody. I think we should move on from Peters. I think it's possible Chris Long be gone. They're talking about trading Michael Bennett. I would rather release Chris Long. I don't know. I don't know if he's supposed to make something like $6 million or something. I don't know if he's like a $6 million. I don't really know. I need to check up on those things. But if it was me, I would try to keep Bennett, and I would let Chris Long go. Shout out Chris Long though for being the Walter Payton Man of the Year. Donating his salary for the inner city schools and doing his thing. Chris Long is a man. We love him, but I'm just talking like it may be what's best for the team. But there's something cooking. Also, Isaac Malu got re-signed. Jason Kelsey got re-signed. The Eagles are really making the offensive line a priority because they know Carson Wentz has been getting banged up the last couple seasons. I still don't consider him injury prone. Like I know there's a lot of injury prone tags on him, but his first injury was the ACL tear, and that was kind of a freak accident. A lot of people like to bring up his college history and his he got hurt in the preseason his rookie year. Like, for real? Like, did y'all really care about his college days and preseason before he hurt his back? No, you didn't. Nobody cared until he hurt his back. His first injury, in my opinion, his first real injury was his torn ACL, and that was a freak accident. Number two, the back injury, that was tough. So the important thing is we got to protect this guy because when we have this guy 100% healthy, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. A lot of people are going to be put on notice again this year. We all believe in Carson Wentz here in Philly. We love the guy. He's tough. He works hard. He had a really good season. Caught a tough break with the ACL tear. But he's going to put people on notice. And people are going to wish they're not talking about him the way they are. People are going to wish they weren't taking him for granted. People are going to wish they didn't say, should have kept Foles and traded Wentz. And, that's pretty much that, guys, with Carson Wentz and the whole injury stuff. But I do really like the fact, I kind of went off on a tangent, kind of going off about Carson Wentz. But the important thing to know is that the Eagles are going to do what they can to keep this guy upright. They are re-signing these guys. Jason Kelsey, one of the best centers in the NFL, gave him a nice little raise, extension. Isaac Seumalo re-signed him as well, guard. So now what we really need to do is figure out what we're going to do with the left tackle position. How can we fix this for the team? Because Jason Peters is he's at the end of his career, man. You would probably be a lot better off if you just released him. You draft a left tackle in the first or second round, or see what you got with Jordan Mailata, maybe Big V. Big V plays a lot better playing left tackle than he does right for some reason. Like when Jason Peters gets hurt, Big V he can do okay. But when Lane Johnson gets hurt, Big V gets wrecked for some reason. He got wrecked the year Lane had the game suspension and all that. Anyway, guys, that's just catching up on the news. Also, I just want to throw this out there. From now on, every Monday night, I will be having my live stream. Finally up to 111 subscribers. Things are starting to get a little bit rolling here with my YouTube channel. So appreciate you guys has been sticking with me from the beginning. We will be starting live sports talk with Philly Jim every night. Not every night, but every Monday night starting tonight. It's your host with the most, Philly Jim, starting the new live stream sports talk show. You guys can ask me any kind of questions you want. You can ask me sports questions or whatever. We'll just sit here and talk about. We try to keep it about sports, but man, if you guys want to ask me personal question about, I'm going to Temple or something like that, you guys can throw that out there as well. It's no big deal. But yeah, man, make sure you guys tune in for that tonight. That being said, it's your host with the most signing off. I'm gone.